Hi, how's it going, friends? I'm Darkoburi, the collector. And for this week's video, we have an incredible piece from JND Studios. Like I was saying, for this week's video we're going to feature the company JND Studios. Here, they themselves tell us that they're a company dedicated to making hyper-realistic collectibles. On this side, you still don't know which figure we're going to unbox, but from what they've told us, the figures are hyper-fragile. They take every safety precaution. Why? So that your piece arrives wherever you are without any issues. What I like most about this company, JND Studios, is that they do ship to Mexico. You have to be really careful because there are some companies that only ship to Europe or Asia. JND Studios, which is based in South Korea, does ship to Mexico, and there are others that only ship to the United States. Honestly, I didn't have any problems at all. I'm going to share a little bit with you here. If you look, everything here is even written in Korean, and it has all the information about the company that shipped it to us. It arrived at Darkoburi Studios without any issues, but the real surprise and the cherry on top is going to be what's inside. To continue a bit with the unboxing and checking out the outer box, which is only useful for seeing the instructions it comes with or the figure it will contain, let me show you. Let's take a look over here on this side. Here we have Arthur Fleck. If you notice, it's going to be a figure of Joaquin Phoenix as Arthur Fleck from the Joker movie, and it's at a 1/3 scale. Here are the weight specifications. The whole box in particular weighs 20 kilos, and the expectation is that the figure itself weighs 12 kilos. So, just to give you a tip, when they send you this figure, it goes through customs, and if you notice, for me it first went through customs in Monterrey. So, when it finally arrives at the delivery address, customs charges you the taxes. One of two things can happen, depending on the carrier. In my case, it was FedEx. When it arrived at customs in Monterrey, which was the first point of entry into Mexico, they called me and said, "Hey, the taxes for your figure are this much." So, collecting isn't just about buying the figure. When your figure arrives, there are also some taxes you have to pay. So, I'm telling you this so you keep it in mind when you're about to get your piece, because if you don't pay those taxes, your figure won't be allowed into the country. And now, I wanted to show you a shot of the box because honestly, it's spectacular. The front is the only part with text, but honestly, it was impressive. I said, Darkoburi, get out of the shot now. Right now, it's not about you, but about this beautiful box we received from JND Studios, and honestly, it's stunning. Over here on this side, my friends from Customs put that little sticker on, ruining that part of the box, so thanks for that. Just kidding, I'm not actually thankful. And on this side, we already have the description of our Joker, Arthur Fleck, now directly from the movie, one of the scenes where they based the figure. Check out the DC logo on this side, it's spectacular. Honestly, the box is absolutely amazing, so let's turn it around. Just like magicians say, nothing up my sleeve, nothing over here. If you notice, there aren't any other inscriptions. And what stands out about this piece, besides the fact that it came super well protected with dry snow all around, is that the outer box itself arrived pretty banged up. In some spots, the box was kind of torn, but if you look, once you open it, it's incredibly well protected inside. This piece comes all the way from South Korea. Honestly, it's traveled a lot of miles, crossed a few oceans, and it's truly spectacular. If you notice, this part arrived without any dents. Let's open it up. Let's take it slow. Let's enjoy this unboxing because honestly, it's going to be epic. Stick with us because we have special Arthur Fleck content here on the Darkoburi channel. And as always, we find the box inside another box, which honestly is a surprise. I also wanted to show it to you briefly because here we find these straps. If you remember in the videos we've made about KRC, another studio where we have some super cool pieces, we get these straps that actually protect your piece really well. Here it just says JND Studios, but the first thing we find is this thank you envelope. No, just kidding, it's not a thank you envelope. It's our certificate of authenticity for our Joker piece. Here, if you look, it's actually really, really cool. I'll leave it here so you can check it out in full color. If you notice, it's exactly what our piece says. Here they show us the edition number. What you should notice is that this is piece number 151 out of 350. There are only 350 pieces of the Joaquin Phoenix Joker from JND Studios. And here is the autograph of our artist Koyan. I hope I pronounced that right. If not, Koyan, please correct us. Honestly, your autograph is super cool. Here it is on this side, and it's a really, really awesome certificate. Now, I'm going to handle the piece very carefully. Let me lower it so I can hear one of the sounds I like most as a collector. One of my favorite things when doing any unboxing is the sound it makes like this. This is really the sound before the battle, the sound right before the unboxing. Now that we've opened the contents of the second box, the first thing we see, which is also the heaviest, is the base. Obviously, I haven't dropped it. I haven't set it down the way it should be. Why? Because on the bottom is where we once again find all the information about our figure. If you look, right here it says Joker Arthur Fleck. It's a limited edition, like I mentioned before, 151 out of 350 pieces in the world. So, here on the Darkoburi channel, you're seeing an exclusive collectible piece from JND Studios. Down here you can see the logos, even the DC one. It's a figure that obviously has the rights to be reproduced, and our friends at JND Studios say they specialize in making hyper-realistic figures. So let's lower the base a bit, which honestly is really, really heavy, and we'll show you the front. If you look here, where it says Joker, that's going to be the display for our figure, and this part up here is a wooden representation. Let me show you real quick. Here, if you notice, it even looks like the wood has been beaten up. So this is where the base goes, and this is where we're going to place our Arthur Fleck. This is the bottom part that came, now from this second box we saw, which is also beautiful. All the details that our friends at JND Studios have taken care of really show the quality of the piece. Here we have our certificate, which we had already seen. The first thing we have is the little card that Arthur Fleck always carried with him. If you remember, in the bus scene this part stands out the most, where he's playing with a little boy or girl. I can't remember, but he's making faces and the kid is laughing, and then the mom turns around and says, "Hey, you know what? Let me show it." And how he starts to get nervous. When he gets nervous, he starts to laugh. So he starts laughing. The woman looks at him strangely, and he hands her the little card. Here, we already know that the little card says, "Sorry, I have a condition," and more information on the back. "Hey, I had an accident. I got hit when I was younger. My head's not right, and I laugh when I get nervous. So, don't worry, and please return the card." The second item we have is this weapon. If you remember, he has the revolver, and the crucial moment, the first part is when he's dressed as a clown, playing in the hospital with the kids, and from all the stomping around, he drops it. He drops the weapon, and when it falls, the kids notice, and he just goes like, "Sure, kids, don't say anything." Then they go and fire him and say, "Hey, but why were you carrying a gun when you were going to do a clown show at a children's hospital?" And after that, a series of events start to unfold. They take away his medication. Some guys show up and start beating him up, and that's when he uses it. Here it also comes with this other accessory, which is the bullets. Check out the size. We're going to do a close-up of everything right now so you can see it perfectly. And they came super stuck together. Look, I had to pull them apart. There are the bullets, and we get 2 bags. Just like you're seeing it, it's not like I made it look like this right now. It's just that it already came like this, kind of worn out. This is the bag he had, and here's the inside. If you look, it's pretty interesting. It's a bag that's totally, like, made of craft paper. And we got this second little bag, one that's a bit better kept, smooth, no issues at all. But now, here comes the moment of truth. Let's bring out the character we really want to see in this unboxing, Arthur Fleck. Let's go get him and set him on the base here so we can, now, describe each of his details on the Darkoburi channel. Here we have Arthur Fleck, and honestly, this figure is absolutely stunning. Honestly, it's a super impressive piece, and it definitely deserves a lot of close-ups. Check it out. It's a hyper-realistic figure, starting with the hair from the front. If you look closely, this right here is how his hairstyle comes. If you start to style it, obviously you have to do it gently so you don't ruin your figure. The hair goes back to its original shape. It looks like our Arthur is really well groomed. If you notice, the hair doesn't move, but when you run your hand over it, it really does look and feel like real hair. Super realistic. Another thing, if you look here, you can also start pressing on the parts that are supposed to be skin, and it really feels like silicone and sinks in. You can even start making movements with it. Obviously, do it gently. We definitely don't want to damage the piece. But let's take a look. If you notice here, the eyebrows and the expression in the eyes, that's when he's already, disappointed, walking along. Check out the shine in the eyes themselves. The eyes it's an absolutely spectacular detail. They look really real. You can see how he's walking there, when he's, looking off into the distance, but lost. He's already out of energy. And check out the whole facial expression, the entire face, from the part with the beard, like he hasn't shaved, with just a few facial hairs starting to grow. All of that, right up to here. There are some parts where the facial hair stands out more, and if you start to look at it against the light, you can see the hairs that are a little bit longer. Now, the next part we're going to look at on our figure is all the clothing accessories, and it's real clothing. Obviously, they made it to fit the size of the piece. Here it has the jacket. On this side we have the pocket. It even has the jacket opening. Here you can put objects inside. You can store his little gun there without any problem. Look, there's the space to store it. It's really a spectacular piece of clothing, and it's very true to how it is in the movie. Inside here, it has his vest, if you notice, in brown. The jacket is a little more yellowish, a bit more sand colored. And the shirt he has underneath, if you look, is a very, very light yellow, and you can see the little dots that make up the checkered pattern on the shirt. You can move all the clothing. Obviously, if you wanted to do it very carefully, you could take it off. But I would recommend you don't. It's not an articulated piece. Be very careful with the hands, the arm, and what's here on the shoulder. Why? Because those finely fitted pieces can come apart. So, you have to be really careful. Even down to this detail here. Why? Because on the back, it has its little hood. It comes with a little hood that you can put on, but beyond that, the details are super cool. At some point, it has the zipper here. I wouldn't risk trying to see if it fits, but apparently I think it does. And the other thing we see is the long sleeve jacket. The shirt goes down to about the level of the hand. It looks like he has, honestly, a really good tailor, because the shirt lines up perfectly with the hand, and the jacket sits just above it. But take a good look at the detail of the hands. Both hands have the visible veins here that go down to the fingers. The knuckles are also really pronounced, just like any normal person. And we can even see the detail on the fingernails here. Let's do a close-up because you can even see this part where the nails have a slightly shinier, whiter color, just like normal nails. And the next thing we're going to look at is the lower part of our figure here, of Arthur Fleck. If you notice, our Arthur doesn't have a belt, but the pants do have all the traditional belt loops so he could wear one. Here's the button. If you look, the shirt goes all the way down, tucked in nice and neat. Alright, Arthur Fleck, you really are in style. And let's take a look at the details of the pants. If you notice, they posed in with one leg forward, as if he's just starting to take a step or like he's walking really slowly. Here, it's a pair of blue pants with red stripes, and you can even see the stitching along the sides of the pants. Both seams are visible. And on the back, I'll show you some photos in a moment. It even has the pockets on the pants. Now, it's like a little nook that's a bit smaller. I wanted to show you how it could fit in, but it doesn't fit. Honestly, I don't want to damage the piece. And we go down here to the part where the socks are. The saw comes up to this height. Yeah, honestly, I was curious and a bit nosy to see if it was made of the same material. And the truth is, it's not. The truth is, the material on top is just plastic. Now, yeah, but honestly, it goes all the way up. Just check out the design on the figure. They even mark the calf. The sock comes up to here with its seam. And let's pull his pants down so Arthur Fleck doesn't show so much leg, since this is family-friendly time. And let's take a look at little shoes. Honestly, just like bubblegum, these are the cutest little shoes. Here, the lace is tied really well, and the shoe is brown. But let's check out the detail right here. If you look closely, that's the detail of the natural wear that shoes get as you walk in them. On this side too, it's nicely polished, you can't see any dirt. In another figure, there were more details here, more details on the mouth, but here the whole shoe is super cool, the stitching on every part and the brown color. Everything is uniform on this base, which we already saw is kind of like wood that's already been cut with those markings, and honestly, it's super cool. The last detail we still need to show you is, first of all, the little bullets that come with our Arthur Fleck accessory. If you look, they came in a little black case and you take them out one by one. You just put these here in the little pouch that comes with our Arthur. And this is what the overhead shot will look like, so you can see the contents. Here, Arthur empties out his little card. Obviously, he can keep the card in his jacket. I decided to put it here. Here's the pouch that our Arthur Fleck will have. And you just start moving the little hand. And with that, the complete assembly of our Arthur Fleck figure is finished. Honestly, at this point you could just leave me a comment saying turn it off and let's go, because this figure is a 10 out of 10. Seriously, it's hyper realistic. An excellent purchase. You already know these are pre-orders and it can take 1 or even 2 years for them to arrive. Why? Because the figure is made to order. They usually promise a 1-year wait, plus another year it might take. And now, with all the COVID issues, it took even longer, not to mention the whole shipping process. So, our Arthur was worth the wait because honestly, it's super, super realistic. And now, if you liked this video, leave a comment. And if you didn't, leave one too. Honestly, I don't think there's anyone who wouldn't like this figure, this sculpture. Now, at 1/3 scale, a hyper-realistic reproduction of Arthur Fleck. Honestly, the other one we had was also super cool. Let's put both figures side by side so you can see the quality. On one of them, you could even see the yellow teeth. Let's take a look at them. And honestly, this one blows the other out of the water. Honestly, I like this Arthur Fleck figure way more, and I hope you enjoyed it here on the Darkoburi channel. So now, make sure to check us out on all our social media. And remember, we're on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. We're on all the social networks. Remember, our NFTs are also for sale on Mintable. And don't forget to visit our website, where you can find exclusive figures. You'll find my book, Collectibles, thermoses, keychains, mugs, every kind of collectible from the Darkoburi brand. Remember, we also have videos every week. The extended version drops every Thursday at 11:30, and the short version, where we go straight to the unboxing, comes out every Friday. We even post daily, and whenever there's news, pre-sales, or anything related to the geek world, anime, movies, everything you love. If we miss something, please let us know. A lot of people have told us, like character birthdays, for example, Arthur Fleck, or people have mentioned Midoriya or other anime characters. Leave it in the comments. Also, let us know in the comments if you want us to do an unboxing of a particular piece. We still have quite a lot of pieces left. There's enough material at Darkoburi for many, many years to come. I'm signing off. Thank you so much. Give us a like, turn on the notification bell, share, follow us on all our social media, and you know, Darkoburi, peace out. Darkoburi. Darkoburi.